Everybody too busy on their cell phones, making money on their cell phones and their laptops, um, that they don't understand what's going on. Well, let me share something with you. And I had this discussion with someone last night, and I'm going to share it with you. It goes like this. This is the real news, not what you see on your phone or computer, because that's been paid, cooed. We have a coup. The United States of America is being attacked, has been attacked. We have the glorious days of MIC spending trillions of dollars in defense. We have destroyed countries, owned countries, a petrodollar. We own the world. We did own the world, but we squandered. We, our leadership, godless leadership, the last 50 years that I have witnessed and spoken about, squandered our nation. In God we trust. No, we do not. God knows that. You know that. We're a money-grabbing, greedy, self-aggrandizing entertainment, instant gratification. What can you provide for me? End times, all of it. Apt descript. Parents' faces will turn white at the behavior of their children. That's the single greatest one I come with. The Mississippi is dry. Barges can't move. Drought. Lowest levels of rivers out west. Ukraine, Russia fighting. Shouldn't be. The BRIC nations are all in line together. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America. And now listen, this is important. This is what this is all about. Listen to me. Saudi Arabia. They don't like you, Biden. Biden don't like you, them. Who is Saudi Arabia? Again, Sneeze boy. I had the pleasure of being elevated, I'm going to say, into the oil business because the president of an oil company was impressed as he came into a restaurant that I managed, $1 million nightclub, full cocktail lounge, live band every night. It was lines out the door, 300 capacity, 26 years old. Hello, 26. Hello. And I met this gentleman, and he liked my style, and he hired me, elevated me to a what I'll say is a global level of understanding oil. I learned a lot. Now, our president has emptied our SPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Has he been arrested? He also has pissed off Saudi Arabia, and they cut us 2 million barrels. I don't know, is that a day? Probably. We get, because of the knowledge I have, it's called sweet. You have sweet and you have sour. Product that comes out of the ground, it doesn't even need to be refined for the most part. Just crack it a little bit. Cracking towers down in St. Charles, Louisiana. This is all verifiable. Verify what I'm telling you, please. There are 2 pipelines, yay big, 36 inches, that traverse all the way from Lake Charles where these sweet, big old sweet-ass barges come in and unload, and it goes all the way up the eastern seaboard. Yes, it do. All the way to New York, feeding the East Coast. Headlines came out, Mansfield Oil. I used to pull for Mansfield. Oh, big shot. No, I'm not a big shot. I'm nothing. You think you are, though, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And those 2 pipelines, the Colonial and Plantation, they feed jet fuel, AV jet fuel, airports, gas, all 3 brands, and diesel. Now, did you know that diesel fuel number 2 is number 2 fuel oil, heating oil? That also runs power plants and locomotives that have coal lined up to feed those power plants, conveyor belt 24/7. All diesel. Call has come out 6, 7 days ago. We got 25 days of diesel left, and we're shut down. Do I believe it? Why wouldn't I if it's going to affect my life? And I know about the oil industry. I would be stupid. Now we're down to about 18 days. senators' husbands getting hammered. Just the weirdness, the wacky weirdness has just reached a level. It's like I mentioned to Queen Boaz last night. It's like I'm in a sci-fi world. She just nodded. Yeah, seems like it. So I can't even keep up with what's going on negatively. We are being attacked. We're going to be taken out. The dollar's going to crash. Let's just back to diesel. That runs everything. Trucks, trains, power plant. It runs everything. Everything. And the headlines, go Google it. Mansfield Oil. I trust them. They're not majors that haven't said jack about jack, right? If you're anything major, they record profits. So these sweet Saudi Arabian tankers come over and they unload. They ain't coming. 2 million. They ain't going to be there. That's where it starts. That's cause and effect. So here's a scenario, as I suggested to Queen Boaz last night. In 3 weeks, now 3 times 7 is what? Yeah, less than 3 weeks. If the headlines are true, if they're true, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Are you listening? Because I have knowledge that I'm sharing with you. It's real. Look it up. Look up sweet and sour crude. Look up BTUs. Look up. So it's shut-off day. Everybody going about their life. What's going on? And I'll tell you what I did learn also is that we are in this country, there are tanks everywhere under the ground. You don't see them. So if the headlines are right, no more diesel. We're going to live off what's in the ground here, maybe last a week. We also have what's called just-in-time inventory, JIT, 3 days. And the grocery stores have depleted. You ever sat and looked in a grocery store, the abundance I have, and so is Queen Boaz? I just looked and like, oh my God, do we know how blessed we are? Listen to us. If the headlines are correct, this is what will happen. 3 weeks, then another week or two, draining what is in. We got no strategic petroleum reserves. He's depleted that. We got all the nations lined up against us, the BRIC nations. They're ready to go. Even Saudi Arabia said, yeah, we're coming to you, Russia. They're all friends, Russia and Brazil and India and China. And so they're all friends. Look in the news. They're all friends against the U.S. and NATO, G7. Simple. Trucks don't deliver. No food. No food. What you gonna do? There ain't no food. You don't think it's coming? I don't know. The headlines say it is.